Okay, so you know how to solve quadratic equations by factoring, and you know how to make perfect squares so that things will factor to be one term. Now, completing the square is a technique for solving quadratic equations when you can't factor them. So recall that when we want to solve equations, we find x values for some given f of x value, and that given f of x value is often 0. Now, the most important thing to remember when we try to complete the square here is that x squared plus 2 times the number times x plus a number squared is going to be x plus that number, the quantity squared. That's our perfect square kind of factoring pattern, and we need to keep that in mind. So let's solve x squared plus 6x plus 9 equals 0. Now, notice that x squared plus 6x plus 9 already fits my perfect square pattern. When I factor it, it's going to be x plus 3 squared, and that equals 0. So now that I only see one x, I can go about getting this x by itself. Now, since the square is the outermost thing happening on the left side, I need to take the square root of both sides in order to undo that square. So on the left side, I'm left with x plus 3, and the square root of 0 is still 0. Now, to get x by itself, I need to subtract 3. So x equals negative 3, and I have solved this problem. Now, here's the key. The key was in this step when we factored so that instead of seeing 2x quantities, we saw 1. So let's solve x squared plus 10x plus 20 equals 31. Now, x squared plus 10x plus 20, sadly, is not a perfect square, so I need to make it one. Well, if I want my, number that I'm thinking of to be half of that middle term, then the number I'm interested in is 5, and I really want to see 5 squared in that third spot there where the 20 is. But 20 is not 25. Now, remember, if you add the same thing to both sides of the equation, you don't really change that equation. So I'm going to add 5 to both sides of this equation. Now on the left I have x squared plus 10x plus 25, and on the right I have 36. Well, that's nice. I see where to go now. X squared plus 10x plus 25 is going to factor to be x plus 5, the quantity squared, and 36 just stays 36. Now, instead of seeing 2 x terms that I need to deal with, I only see 1, and I just need to get him by himself. So I start by taking the square root of both sides, and remember that a square root could be either positive or negative, so I need to consider that this could be either positive 6 or negative 6. So I know that x plus 5 equals 6, and I also know that x plus 5 could equal negative 6. So for both of these baby equations, to solve them I need to subtract 5, and I get that x equals 1, or that x equals negative 11. So this process of completing the square happened up here, where I added 5 to both sides to give myself a perfect square on the left side. From then on, it was just a matter of solving like normal.